undergraduate degree is in psychology, and my original plan was to become a psychologist. You know, going to school and then getting a degree in psychology, unless you go on and get your PhD, you can't be a psychologist, right? So, of course, I decided to work for a couple of years first, and the first company that I worked at had an opportunity in human resources, and they were actually starting a training function. They didn't have that part of HR as of yet. So they asked me to be the coordinator, and after about a year or so, they really needed someone to start doing training. And I said, I could do that, you know. I've pretty much been on stage since I was about 4 years old, so public speaking and being in front of an audience. Of course, when I was a kid, it was tap dancing or singing karaoke or whatever that might be. But being in front of people was always something that came very naturally to me. So I said, you know, get me the training for Train the Trainer, and I'll be the trainer of all these different things. And so that's, you know, back almost 20 years ago. But if we fast forward then, I started with Mizuho Bank about 5.5 years ago. And I've worked pretty much in financial services almost my entire career. Prior to Mizuho, I was with Citibank. Prior to that, I was with a division of One Beacon Insurance, and before that was with Bear Stearns. And as you know, and being a technology person, I started off also at IBM. So went from the technology training into really corporate learning and development. And with Mizuho, it was a unique opportunity in that, number one, it was a global Japanese bank. And I had done some work in Asia and Europe and Latin America for Citibank, but this was now primarily focusing on Asia. And heading up learning and development for the Americas. So North America, Canada, Latin America are all my populations. They had no learning and development in place when I started there 5.5 years ago. They had an LMS, and that was it. A few classes you could take online, mostly compliance or regulatory things that were necessary for the bank, but no learning and development. So they came to me and they said, we need someone to come in and totally start grassroots, tell us what we need, build the learning and development function from the ground up. And I actually can say that I've been lucky enough, this was the second time in my career that I got to do this. When I worked for division of One Beacon Insurance, it was the same kind of situation. A little smaller subsidiary, about 600 people, but they had no learning and development. So they said, can you come in and can you build everything? And that really excited me. You know, one of the reasons I got into learning and development was I always saw it was the happy side of HR. It's the nice side, it's the talent development, it's the career opportunities, it's mentoring programs and succession planning, and it's not firing people or putting them on a warning or having to handle their benefit claims. You know, this is the nice side of human resources and developing others. And so coming to Mizuho, it was a great opportunity on a larger scale to build everything from the ground up. I came in and started off with doing, you know, my needs assessments across the different divisions of corporate finance and treasury. I pretty much, as I said, always worked in financial services, so I was very familiar with the different types of people. But figuring out what kind of learning they needed and what their highest priorities were was the most important first step when I got there in 2008.